Hello, obviously by now you know me, I'm Scott and Wessex Blades. You'd all sort of have picked up over the 6 years or something I've been on YouTube that I get up in the morning and I do Tesco. I do 3 hours at Tesco, and then I got a job and I work in a school. Now for all the, well, how can I say, political advertising of working in a school has been a very privileged position. You know, very, very lucky to work in a school because you're working with, you know, the future generation and all the rest of it. Anybody who works in education in the last decade is just overwhelmed with the sense of the workload is ramped up and the pay is absolutely frozen. It just hasn't gone anywhere. In fact, about 6 years ago, I had, technically speaking, a reharmonisation of contracts, and that meant that support workers that would be across councils, so we're talking school meals, supervisory assistants, the traffic wardens, the guys who do all the bins, the refuse collecting, all those sort of lower tier people, none of the council officials, not teachers and professionals or surgeons and the rest of it, but all that, boom, massive great bottom plateau, their contracts were reharmonised. So that meant that bank holidays were flat rate, a lot of pay scales were just bumped down or frozen. And what that's meant is, over the last few years, is that when I left one job that was dying a death and I went into schools, what I'd been used to and accustomed to was every year you get a pay rise. You know, every year you get just the token gesture of 1 or 2% in order to just fight back, you know, the rising cost of living. It's never happened. So I left one job to go to the school, and I was like earning 3.5, 4 grand less than what I was used to. I've never been able to find that, and so every year I've had to find 3 grand out of thin air. Literally thin air. Well, that's all right, but you're in education, which means if you stay on in the evenings, you don't get overtime rate, you don't get flat rate, you don't even get time in lieu. So, you know, writing down over the years my timesheets of what I'm keeping track of my hours. This school job that owes me like 3 months, okay, of which I'll never see it, and I haven't had a pay rise. You've seen the cost of electric lately, on top of the workload going up. So I was able to make the gap up a little bit with the old band. At least the rehearsals got paid for. At least my bass had strings on it. At least I got some nice gear. At least there was petrol in the tank. Okay, I had a meal out every now and again. I've been doing Wessex Blades as a self-funding hobby, and what that means is that everything that I go just goes straight into more stock or a little bit of kit. Okay, a work shirt or a pair of boots. So if the old inland comes, I ain't making nothing on this, guys, you know, I'm making, plus all the stuff I give away, you know, the odd fair rod here and there. So anyway, it's not an earner, and it hasn't been. Well, anyways, over the years trying to make this 3 grand chasm up, I've remortgaged twice, freed up over 10 grand twice, lived off it, and then last year I finished up thinking this here we go again. So in first couple of months I cashed in one of my endowments, of which should have paid off the mortgage next year, 2015. Living off of that as well. And I've never made a quiet point of, whenever I might get 5 minutes with a teacher, everyone, yeah, I'm fine, but I'm struggling, man, you know. £8 an hour, I go down to Tesco's, I go on the shelf, £9.30, £9.28 or something. And there's a few times where they said, oh, we'll look into that, and we'll look, you know, see if we can get you a bit more. Never, ever, ever happened. Oh, responsibility's going up. The opportunities were more, Aaron. That seems every sort of year goes by, they just crank up a bit. Just imagine a donkey, like, you know, buckaroo, right, and just keep whacking another milk canteen, another pickaxe, another haversack, a tire, you know. I turns up for work like last week, Thursday, and they're obviously been working a bit later with some kids and files, and the workshop's a mess. Papers left out, filters left out, cups of hot chocolate left out. And I can just see what the conversation went. Students, they overcome the mountain of getting the kids to stay late doing their folder work. It's alright, don't worry about the mess, technician clear up. So I walked into that. There's a few other odds and sods that really wasn't tidied away. So I got a pen, got a piece of paper, wrote me notes out. I could, you know, to put all the effort out of it free with this job, whilst at the same time I got to exist on whatever it is. So you're looking at Scott Wessex Blades. As from 1st of December, it's going to be Wessex Blades in Tesco, not the school in Tesco. It's just getting crackers. Now, I know for a fact, I'm under no illusion this is going to be a bastard of a year. As good as the grinder is from John, he's slow, he's a tank. So I ain't like Ben Offord with 3 fucking great radius masters all tooled up ready to go. I wouldn't have contemplated this if I didn't have the John's grinder and I didn't have that funky drill. No way would I have took this on. So it's only down to people like that and the help I had from John Kaiser sending me that other belt grinder. There's no way in hell I'd have took this on without the kit that I have got. That being said, this is going to be eat, sleep, grind. Okay, so I'm looking at Tesco's, get back, take Jazz to school, get back, work, pick her up, pardon me, pick her up at 4 and back out again. So life's change, lifestyle change. Fair play to Jackie. She could see I was right off when I came back home Thursday. There's only so much you can take, not in terms of vocation, but in terms of the load that's put on me for that position, and nothing in remuneration in order to equate the responsibility, accountability, responsibility, the plethora of tasks that I had to achieve. So, you know, it's going to be stuff that I believe in now. Okay, so if you notice, I've been backing off the commissions over the last week. We're going to try and clear the books. So over the next couple of months, what I'm hoping to do is kill the backlog. So there's a few blades that I got to do, and then obviously now I'm full. got to be full time. That 4-year backlog could be gone in 4 months, because instead of coming out 20 minutes, going back in, I'm going to get about 6 or 7 hours in the day before picking up Jazz. Back home, clean up, do a bit of this, do the tea. Jackie comes back home, spend some evening time together with the family, back out and grind till maybe 10, back up for next morning. So I've got a big chunk in the day and a moderate sort of lump in the evenings. Now, we've all seen the journey that Sandy's done, and he had one model. Okay, just like Jerry Maguire, you know, he's going off with me, make me money with his one guy. Okay, my problem is I got loads and loads of models. So what it could be is that, yeah, you know, you all want the berserkers and the Glocks and the badasses and the enforcers and all them big ass blades, but if you look at the amount of stock that comes off a small blade as opposed to a big one, okay, you can figure the cross sectional area and the volume that's coming out. A small blade takes a quarter of the time than it does to grind a big one. And belts. Okay, so what I'm probably envisaging is I'm going to come up with 1 or 2 dinky blades, and then every now and again I'll just slip in a Golok, because I mean that's where my heart lies. It's the big ass bulldog bastard blades. That's what I'm standing for. But there's nothing wrong with it with a scalpel, and it was, you know what I mean, a damn good 4-inch blade really makes a difference. So up until now, you lot have got me where I am. You just can't knock the support that I've had, because it's been crazy. Okay, I mean, we're talking not fanboys, but you know, the support, like a band that I was in. You know, people follow you around doing the different gigs and get on the circuit, get on the, you know, the sort of carousel of gigs. That's what it's like. Same old faces, constantly there for support. So thanks guys, because without the gear and without what I know I've got a wide base of support, there ain't no bloody way I'd have jacked in the school. Despite the fact I was doing this, you know, I just have to come up with another scheme in order to make it. But, you know, it's little things like Kylie got me the tank stamp. That allows me to stamp metal and leather, so that helps. I had some files there for Rockwell testing the other day, and just these little extra little knickknacks that make a difference. So if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have done it. No, just too big a leap. Okay, leap of faith, yeah, it definitely is, but I know that there's the interest there for my kit. I know there's people who want a piece, not just a piece of what I make, but they know they're getting my attitude, my tenacity is in the stuff that I make, and I'm like to think that it comes out, and the feedback I'm getting is you feel it. So here we go, because we're all in it together. Last week in November, bye school, I've asked for no ceremony. So what that means is I'm not contemplating a send-off of any description. I just couldn't face it. I'm going to miss some people there. The food guy, and I'll name it, Phil Obley, he's really looked after me, you know, so I'm going to miss that guy. But it's just got to the point where you cannot expect the support team to live off wages that, if you had a 20th of the responsibility, you'd be stacking shelves and you'd be earning a comparable wage. That is to me is a massive hurdle in terms of making ends meet if that's your job, because you come home and your mind is fried. I'd like to think that if, you know, I went now, I'm going pro, my days could be a little bit more purposeful. I got the books to do, I got the accounts to do, I got national insurance to, so if I suddenly, I've already got all the Sandy in terms of advice. If you get a message from me like, "Oh, how'd you do?" Okay, just a break, alright? Because I mean, I'm more than able to do the admin, but I just don't know what to do at the moment. If that makes sense. Okay, I mean, if I can do a 4-departmental order across like 9 different firms with a 4-figure budget, yes, I can run this, no problem. I just don't know quite what box to tick and do whatever. So advice on when it comes to at the end of the year, and I sent it to the accountant, the last thing I want to do is have a big tax bill when I could have bought a new plan. It's those little, you know what I mean, like offsetting stuff that's totally legit, but I don't want to shoot myself in the foot and pay £2.5 bail when I could have paid 1,000 and bought myself a £1,500 truck or something, or if you get what I mean. So I'm never too proud to have help. I ain't one of these I work alone sort of people, because generally speaking I'm not working alone. If you didn't support me, if you didn't buy my stuff, if you didn't give me positive comments, I wouldn't be bloody doing it. I really wouldn't. It's the feedback that kicks me on to the next thing. So here we go. Oh yeah. Yes, magic. So where do I think I'm going? I'd like to get 2 to 3 rinky dinks done a week, a product review if I can, and slip a Golok every couple of weeks. That's a I mean, don't forget, Sandy was doing 2 to 3 a week. Jackals, which are Scandi grinds, Coke bottle handles. Dealt with it. Didn't last long before. Forget this. I'll get a maxi grinder. You just see what I mean. That's where I need to get out, established, and reinvest in a beast of a grinder. And obviously prices are going to have to reflect the fact that I've been doing this on and off for 5 to 6 years. So it ain't going to be mates rates. But yeah, you know that, and I know that. It was a hobby before, now it's a serious business. So I'm aiming to get t-shirts, the ferro rods sorted out, and it's so the old adage is going to be eat, sleep, grind. Here we go. The other thing was, I like to get it on Gear Bastion, that I'm sort of back in the fray, but also a good website is, it's not that it's where it's at, but it's also accessing the community of knife and tool users that's not necessarily YouTube. I mean, YouTube's where I started, but I can't solely, I don't think I'll be able to sustain myself without branching out in many other ways. So a nice website will give me more options and just give me a far wider economic base. What's he doing, eh? Hot from Wessex Blades. Getting ready to finish off the Fantastically. Upload this and look into the future, because if I'd have stayed in the school much longer, I'd have had to. That ain't a future. It's not a future. It wasn't a future. It was a vocational dead end, and I just literally wanted that morning. Walked in and went, nah. I went, that's my future, I hope. Stuff like this. thanks for my support. That's all you've done for me. And now I hope that I can actually go, you know, up and make not necessarily a name for myself, but carve a niche for myself that's a bit more than it's a hobby. Let's go for my 6 blades. Let's go next one.